Hey guys, Jason here. Today we're going to figure out why a Kenmore washer will not drain. This can be caused by a couple different things, including the drain pump, motor, or the lid switch. Before we get started, take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can see more repair guides to help you do it yourself. With over 2 million products in stock and the know-how to help you do it yourself, we are AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll need a multimeter, a flatblade screwdriver, a putty knife, and a wire jumper. While you're getting those together, please remember to keep safety first. Unless we're checking for live voltage, always make sure to unplug your appliance before working on them. We don't need the washer's power on for this test, so go ahead and pull that plug.
You'll also want to turn off the water supply.
We're going to need to get into the console, so you need to use a putty knife here. On the left and right sides, you'll see a clip that holds the console to the cabinet. Slide the putty knife under the console about an inch from each end, then push the clip towards the back of the machine, while gently prying up and pulling forward to release one side. You'll need to do the same to the other side, and flip the console over. Now we can access the lid switch to test it. The lid switch is there for safety. When the lid is open, the motor will not run, but it will fill with water, so the lid needs to be closed to start the agitation cycle. This prevents someone from getting injured from reaching in the washer while it's spinning or agitating. Alright, there are 3 wires going to the lid switch. Our unit has a gray, a white wire, and a green wire. You're going to want to remember the terminals of the gray and white wires when you disconnect the harness. The green wire is just a ground wire and isn't going to be tested. Now take your multimeter and set it to the continuity setting, which looks like a sideways Wi-Fi symbol. Then put one probe from your multimeter on the terminal where the gray wire was and the other probe on the terminal where the white wire was. With the washer lid closed, your meter should read continuity, and with the lid open, you should not have continuity. Any findings different from these mean your lid switch has failed and needs to be replaced. If your lid switch is good, we can keep testing. To access the drain pump, you'll see the 2 brass clips holding the cabinet to the back panel. Use a flatblade screwdriver and push down to release the clips. You can now tilt the cabinet forward and slide it off the frame. Now we're going to check the drain pump. The washer is what we call a direct drive, meaning the pump, motor, and gear case are directly coupled together. That's right, no belts on this washer. The wash motor rotates in one direction in agitation and the other direction in spin. Since the pump is directly attached to the motor, it pumps water back into the tub during agitation. When the spin cycle is running, the motor reverses and drains the water out. The drain pump is mechanical on this unit and no electricity is needed. Most of the time, you'll find debris in the drain pump that ends up blocking the motor and preventing the unit from spinning out. For now, we're going to pop the clips on the drain pump with a flatblade screwdriver and pull the drain pump off the motor shaft. We'll leave the hoses attached. Then we're going to use a wire jumper and jump the gray and white wires on the lid switch harness. Please be very careful here to protect yourself from electric shock, which has the potential to cause serious injuries. Don't ever test live voltage if you're uncomfortable using a multimeter. Now plug the unit up and select the spin cycle. If the motor shaft is turning, then it should drain, and you'll know that you need to replace the drain pump. If the motor is not turning and the lid switch tested good and has the correct voltage, then it needs to be replaced. Remember, if you have a tub full of water, then you need to scoop as much out as you can and lean the washer back against the wall before you disconnect the drain pump hoses. Have a towel ready because you will still have some water in those hoses. Since we determined that the drain pump is faulty, here's how to replace it. For this, we'll need a flatblade screwdriver, a putty knife, and a pair of pliers. You want to leave the machine unplugged to keep yourself safe. You can use the pliers to take the hose clamps off the hoses enough to remove them from the drain pump.
Then take off the upper and lower hoses. It's a good idea to have a towel handy to catch any residual water.
Now we can line up the hole in the back of the drain pump with the motor shaft and make sure it seats all the way down. After you do that, reinstall the clips.
Then reattach the hoses with the hose clamps.
When you're done, you can reinstall the cabinet and flip the console back over.
Reinstall the brass clips and connect the lid switch.
Then slide the tabs into the bottom of the console into the holes in the top of the cabinet. After that, just push down the console till it locks in place and you're done.
Don't forget to plug the washer back in or turn your breaker back on, as well as turning the water supply back on.
If you need any of the parts mentioned in this video, head over to appliancepartspros.com to get a replacement. Most orders arrive in 2 business days, and we have tons of videos to help you install your new parts. In the meantime, don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons so you'll see all our newest videos. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.